Welcome, subscribers and guests. You're listening to DoublePlusMedia News. Let's go. CTV. About 100 convoy trucks in downtown Ottawa have children living inside. Ottawa police say about a quarter of the vehicles parked in downtown Ottawa as part of the trucker protests have children living in them, and authorities are worried for their safety. Deputy Chief Steve Bell told reporters Tuesday night that 25% of the more than 400 trucks occupying the downtown core have children living inside. Quote, "It's something that greatly concerns us," unquote, he said. Quote, "From the risk of carbon monoxide and fumes, the noise levels, we're concerned about cold, we're concerned about access to sanitation, the ability to shower." Commentary. This is disgusting. They're going to try to leverage the children to pressure the trucks to leave. Truckers aren't going to be aware of the condition of their kids. What an annoying argument. If you are actually concerned, then check in on the truckers and ask them questions to see if they are aware of the dangers you're referring to. Nah, this stinks of government trying to use tactics to get leverage on truckers. If you don't move, we are going to try to label you as a domestic terrorist and child abuser. Get the F out of here. CTV. Alberta ditches proof of vaccine program at midnight, masking for students Monday. Alberta's highly controversial proof of vaccination system expires as the clock strikes midnight Wednesday. Premier Jason Kenney announced Tuesday amid accusations that he was playing politics with public health measures. Rules that require students to wear masks in Alberta schools will end on Monday, and children under 12 won't have to wear masks anywhere starting then. Kenney said his quote-unquote careful and prudent plan, which was approved by Alberta's COVID Cabinet Committee, lays out the path to, quote, "move on from a widespread pandemic response to get our lives back to normal," unquote. Commentary. This is a clear sign that the vaccination passport system is entirely political. Just like that, the passport system ends. No substantial changes to the virus. I'm glad they are doing it, but we cannot accept a government just flicking on and off a switch when it comes to emergency use of powers that fly in the face of democracy. Don't play politics with people's lives. Show your data, and be transparent about your decision making. Daily Mail UK. New Zealand is hit by Canada-style freedom convoy. New Zealand's capital was partially brought to a standstill today as a quote-unquote freedom convoy of COVID protesters rolled into the town and blocked roads around Parliament. Hundreds of cars, trucks, and motorbikes carrying thousands of people drove from across the country and converged in Wellington on Tuesday morning to protest against Jacinda Ardern's hardline pandemic policies. Traffic slowed to a crawl as vehicles blocked roads around Parliament and in other key locations before taking to the streets to wave banners and placards demanding the return of freedoms, denouncing vaccine mandates, and attacking the Labour Prime Minister. Commentary. New Zealand is so screwed. They took such a dramatic stance at the beginning of the pandemic. They are going to have barely any resiliency when it comes to opening back up to international travelers. Sure, having a vaccinated population is great, but without natural immunity, you're only going to be covering the main strain and then some of the mutations. You're going to be relying on boosters. They are going to be doing rolling lockdowns for all of 2022 because their cases are going to keep spiking. This is why Sweden's plan was preferable. Though they could have been better at protecting the vulnerable during their initial hands-off approach, as of February 6th, Israel is facing their highest number of hospitalizations since the beginning of this friggin' thing. One of the most vaccinated countries. And on Friday, they removed their vaccine passports. Which is it, Israel? You crazy coop? DW.com. Chinese, quote, space cleaner spotted grabbing and throwing away old satellites. Last month, a private satellite tracking company spotted a Chinese spacecraft apparently grabbing and throwing a dead satellite away into a quote-unquote graveyard orbit. In 2025, the first active debris removal mission, Clear Space 1, will attempt to quote-unquote throw away the upper part of the Vespa Vega secondary payload adapter from Europe's Vega launcher. A Chinese satellite was spotted in late January grabbing another long-dead satellite and days later throwing it into a graveyard orbit 300 kilometers away, where objects are less likely to hit spacecraft. Commentary. Okay, space cleaner. Thanks, CCP. Thanks for creating more space in space, CCP. You despotic, corrupted Pooh Bear. What a waste. Glad they are so good at wasting money and time. That's what happens when you have a corrupted system. Everyone says yes to their stupid ideas. Hey, should we use our satellites to move some junk in space to another space? Yes. Hey, should we pollute our river and soil for profits? Yes. Ka-ching! BBC. Canada truckers arrest as police warn of volatile protesters. Ottawa police have said, quote, volatile and, quote, determined demonstrators remain in Canada's capital after nearly 2 weeks of a trucker-led anti-vaccine mandate protest. Ottawa is under a state of emergency after protesters blockaded the city centre with trucks and cars. Police have seized thousands of liters of fuel in recent days. Up to 25% of the vehicles contain children who could be at risk during operations, police said on Tuesday. Commentary. Nothing really new or surprising here. Everyone used to think Canada was this great peaceful nation, but the police are just as likely to abuse power as anywhere. Over the summer of 2021, Canada had a protest over old-growth forest destruction in British Columbia, and the same thing happened there. Canadian police were pulling down protesters' COVID masks only to pepper spray them in the face. They took protesters' guitars and stomped on them. This goes right to your leadership. Weak or tyrannical, it's all the same. If leaders are transparent with their decision making, they'd set a better example. It would help to increase understanding and remove shadows of doubt. Business Insider. Elon Musk, SpaceX, says a geomagnetic storm wiped out 40 of the 49 Starlink satellites it launched into orbit last week. The aerospace company sent 49 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit on Thursday via a Falcon 9 rocket. About 80% of those satellites were quote-unquote significantly impacted by a geomagnetic storm Friday, SpaceX said in a statement Tuesday. Geomagnetic storms are triggered by disturbances between Earth's magnetic field and charged particles from the sun, known as solar wind. According to a Space Weather Prediction Center, the speed and intensity of the storm caused the quote-unquote atmospheric drag to climb to levels 50% higher than previous launches, SpaceX said in a statement. That made it harder for satellites to reach their orbital position. Commentary. Wow, this sucks. Kinda hoping for Starlink to be a great success because it could help disrupt current telecommunication oligarchs. At least it adds more competition, keeps them on their toes. If we just let them all collude together, say goodbye to good prices and fast download speeds. Also say hello to their support services. Yeah, we have a support line. Let's see here. 1-800-WAIT-HERE. Thanks for listening, and a double plus thanks for likes, comments, and subscribers.